Hello, good morning, everybody. This is Bill the Geek broadcasting live from Lake Chapala, Mexico. Or I could say Chapala, Mexico. Either way, I'm Bill the Geek, Bill Dallas Lewis, broadcasting live. And we got a bunch of people here early in the morning. It's Saturday, 10 o'clock, Chicago time, ready to rumble. We got a lot of stuff to cover today. I put on my fancy Mexico shirt. Yeah, I bought this in Puerto Vallarta. You guys have been watching them hoodies every week, so I thought I'd dress up this morning, shave, be good, so, we could have some fun. I've got a lot of stuff lined up. I'm going to show you a little bit of a house that we put up on YouTube, Katie Ibarra. I've added some new links in the description. We'll talk about that. We went to Mescala this week and took a tour on the island of Mescala. We got some video clips from that. We have Teresa's latest menu that just popped up. We have stuff to talk about. My car was in the shop for 3 days. I want to talk about that. My drone's in the shop. I want to talk about that. And I want to talk about all things Mexico. It's another beautiful day here in Mexico. And I've been living in Mexico for 16 years. It's life down here is beautiful, and every day is beautiful. And I'm from Ohio, where it snows. I lived in New Hampshire for 4 years where it snows. There's no snow down here. I've lived in heat and humidity. There's no humidity down here. And it's cheap. It's fabulous. But we got a bunch of people leaving messages. Camera's over here, my computer's over here, so when I look over here, I'm looking at the computer. I'm not ignoring you. Jack Webb is in the house. Jack, we got some hospital information. The next two videos I put up will be about 15 minutes to 20 minutes each, all about hospital care. It's two important videos, and I know you've been asking for those. Deborah Green in DeLon, Florida. Hola, Deborah. And my old friend Joan Richards is in the house. Teresa is good. She has 2 new recipes out this week, and her latest recipe, well, I may as well get to this right now. Her latest recipe is this one. She takes these simple ingredients and she works her magic, and she turns the eggs with potatoes and cheese and salt and some cream and some real butter from Costco into these beautiful omelets with little pieces of spinach on top of the omelets. But the link is below in the description, and it's only a 2-minute video, and it's in English. So Teresa's doing fine. She's cranking out the videos. Check out this video on how to make a cheese, potato, spinach omelet, and subscribe to her channel. She's really trying to get monetized over there. Okay, what else is? We got a ton of people in the house this morning. Melody here from Harlem. Hey, Melody, come on down here. I've been to Harlem several times. Melody, I've been to Harlem several times. My sister lived at 96th and Riverside for 10 years. So when I was going to Dartmouth, I'd be in New York City quite frequently. And I love New York City. I mean, the city, all the food, all the places to go, all the different kinds of people. I love New York City. Chapala is way cheaper, much more mellow. It's not New York City. I love the Big Apple. Melody, thank you for being with us. Eric Drews, thank you, Eric. I see you watched the video on Mescala. It was a fabulous trip. We'll talk about that soon. TCB from Finland. We're covering the United States, and now we have the Europeans coming in. And this European is crazy. TCB, his name is Chris, if I'm not mistaken. Yo, my brother, just a greeting saying everything good here in Finland. Summer is ending. How can summer be ending? But soon I'll be in Mexico, as you know. Take care, TCB. He's lived in California for like most of his life, but he's coming back to the Guadalajara, Chapala area. Good to see that you're in the house. Tom D from San Diego. We got San Diego. We got Harlem. We got Florida. Who else is in the house? We got Finland in the house. Mikey, good morning from San Francisco. We got California covered. Bonnie Armstead. Hola, Bonnie. Good to hear from you and all your messages every day. Joe the Leon. Nice shirt. Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Joe. This shirt... When I was looking for women, I'm not looking for women anymore. I don't ever wear this shirt. I have about 10 of these shirts, all different colors. And when I was looking for women, I found this shop on the main drag in Puerto Vallarta. I don't remember the name of the shop, but they had these great Mexican shirts, and they were like 400 pesos, which was expensive, but that's like $20. They're all handmade. I got like 10 of them in the closet next door. I've lived here for 3 years. I think I've worn these shirts like 2 times. But if you're in Vallarta, look, short sleeves. Yeah, but with the door shut in here, the mosquitoes can't get in. Yeah, okay. Thank you, Mikey, Joe, Joan Richard. Thank you, Joan. I'm trying. I'm going with what I got. I'm an old guy. Tom D, where did you go? I start scrolling and people start disappearing. Tom D, looking good, Bill. Thank you very much, Tom D. Senor Mexico, 1968. Good morning from Baltimore, Maryland. Baltimore, great place to be. Pamela Williams. Good morning, Bill and everyone. Eric Drews. If the weather is as good as Bouquet, Panama, I'll love Lakeside. I have no idea what Bogota, Panama. I don't know. But the weather is great here. It's rainy season now, so it's raining a little bit. Well, it's kind of raining a lot, but it didn't rain at all for 6 months. For 6 months, it's like a low of 50 at night. It's going to be 85 in the afternoon, and the sky is going to be blue all day for 6 months. So now rain here means it might rain for 15 minutes a day, usually at night around 3 o'clock in the morning. One day this week it rained for like most of the day, but that's rare. And there's no humidity. It's great down here. Okay, let's get back here. Pamela Williams, good morning, Bill and everyone. Good morning, Pamela, Eric Drews. Teresa de Anda is in the house. That's my wife. And she actually typed something in. And she typed it in English. Good day for everyone. Oh, that's a big one. That's the first time she's ever typed in English in the chat when we're going live. You go, girl. My wife's speaking English. Jerry Arbon, thanks, Bill, for your time. Jerry, it's my pleasure. Joe Griff in the house from New Jersey. Guayabera shirt? I like, yeah, I dig it. And when I was looking for women, the women liked it too. That's why I bought it. Okay, that's why I bought 10. Hear what I'm saying? I got one that's black. Teresa likes that one. That's how I got her. One of the shirts paid off. Oh, okay, Bonnie Am said, yummy. Okay, Russ Shrewsbury finally caught the live from West Virginia. Oh, we got somebody. Russ Shrewsbury from West Virginia. We finally got somebody from West Virginia. Russ, I'm from Columbus, Ohio. I would drive to D.C., so I forget the route it was, but it was a freeway, and it would go through Cabin Creek. It's this part of West Virginia, you're driving through West Virginia and you're in the heart of the mountains, and the freeway is like zigzagging, and you're down and it's all mountains. It's almost like Mexico. It doesn't last that long. It's like a 25-minute drive of this. In Mexico, you come to Mexico, you're driving through mountains, beautiful mountains for hours. But Russ, I remember driving by Cabin Creek, West Virginia, the home of the Lakers general manager, Jerry West. Jerry West was from Cabin Creek. And you can look down in the freeway and see Cabin Creek. It's this little place. It's what? I don't know what the population, they probably only have like 10 people that live there. But we got West Virginia in the house. Hi, Bill from Enrique de Chicago. We got Chicago in house. How about doing videos on apartment rentals? That's on my list. And Enrique, I have a link below for a lady. She specializes in apartment rentals in Chapala and Ajijic. I'll be contacting her to do an interview with her, and I want her to take me to some rental places. But the link for her is below. She has a website. It's called like Rentals Ajijic Chapala. You can see it. It's down in the description below. Okay, Ron, good morning from Ron, and we got 2 people from West Virginia. What's going on? Bonnie Anstead, Gilbertsville, Pennsylvania, in the house. Hey, Gladys. Oh, Gladys, is that you? Hello, Bill and Teresa from Gladys and Chris. Yes, that is. Guess what? We are vecinos. We moved to Chapala, Las Redes Calle. Okay, Gladys and Chris, you have to contact us. My email is at the bottom of the description. Drop us an email. We'll have to get together for some comida y cerveza. We met Gladys and Chris about a month ago for a Domino's party at the home of Annette Williams. Fabulous people from Chicago, just moved to Chapala, and is happy that you're in the house. Tell Chris I said hello. Email us so that we can get together and party. Ha! Yeah, Bill and Teresa, we've been known to party a little bit. Okay, Edward, buenos dias de Florida. Looking forward to the chat. Right on, Edward. Happy you're here. MJ, good morning, Bill. I wanted to ask you, do you travel to little cities in Jalisco? Did ever went to Cocula? I heard it's beautiful little city, and mariachi started over there. I wonder if you can make a video of that. Okay, let's take note of that. We have a person, her name is Pam the nurse, and she suggested that we drive all the way around Lake Chapala. I don't know how long that would take, and I'm thinking that would be like a 2-week trip if we stopped and did videos, but let me check out the name of that town. There are so many fabulous places to live. Very good. Joan Richards. Wow, yummy. Teresa's a good cook. My son is a chef, and I'm a good cook too. Hope we can share recipes. Teresa loves to learn about food. She would be happy to share videos with you. You can leave her a comment from any of her videos, and I believe that her website address is in the description below. Kelly, hola from Washington State. Oh, we have the whole West Coast covered without Oregon. Hi, Kathy. Good morning from St. Clair, Missouri. That's Kelly. Now we've got the Midwest covered. Phil, good morning from Connecticut. We got Harlem on the East Coast. We got Connecticut on the East Coast. Bonnie Amistad deleted her message. Uh-oh, I scrolled too far. I scrolled too far. Okay. Buenas. Phil says, Gladys Nahar. I think I bumped up too far. I got to scroll back up. Oh, I'm sorry, you guys. Okay, here we go. There we go. Okay. Good morning from Connecticut. Russ finally caught the live. I'm glad you're here, Russ. Phil, I need some dental work done, specifically an implant and bridge. Are there any cosmic dentists in the area? Okay, Phil, I did a video. There's a place in Chapala. Actually, it's in Ajijic. It's a 15-minute drive from where we are. And this place, and we did a video on this. Email me directly and I'll send you the link to this video. You can find my email down below in the description. It's called Dental Express. And they also have offices in Puerto Vallarta, and they're very good. You got to watch this video. I've had many of my subscribers that have come to Mexico just to get their teeth fixed. I'm going there next week to get my teeth cleaned. Teresa just had an implant put in there. They do everything. Our neighbor Camille, she had 4 implants all at the same time there. And they call this medical travel. There's a term for it. But you can save so much money. You come down here, take a little vacation, get your teeth fixed. And I don't want to talk about this for too long, but I remember in Puerto Vallarta getting my teeth fixed, and I met an older lady from Denver, and she was in Puerto Vallarta, and she was having something like a crown or whatever. It was really expensive. In Denver, it was going to cost her $20,000. In Puerto Vallarta, it was only going to cost her $3,000. So by coming to Vallarta, she saved $17,000, and she used the extra money to stay at a resort hotel. So yeah, the name of the place in Ajijic is called the Dental Express. Email me directly and I will send you a link to the video that we did on that place. Okay. Love to travel. Good morning. Go, Teresa, go. Thank you. Love to travel. Gladys, Ola, Phil. Buenos dias, Teresa, Russ, Cabin Creek, Interstate 77, Jerry West, Joan. Buenos dias, Teresa, Jack Webb. Ron, does Mexico tax income generated outside of Mexico, for example, retirement received from the U.S.? Good, very good question, Ron. The answer is no. Mexico does not tax your Social Security. Talk with your accountant about that. But I've been here and I'm on Social Security, so but Mexico leaves that money alone. Jack Webb, hey Russ, I have a kid who is in anesthesia school in Charleston. I love snowshoe. Yes. Oh, you like to ski. Christopher Wilson. That sounds great, Bill. Gladys and I would love to see you guys again. Yeah, Chris, this is Gladys's husband. Edward Ulick. Bill, is, que bueno. I didn't know that, Edward. I didn't know that Philadelphia is Philadelphia in Spanish. Oh, who would have thought? Okay. Eric Drews at Chelsea, Alabama. Eric Drews, you're in Alabama? We got West Virginia, Alabama in the house, Harlem, Connecticut, state of Washington, San Francisco, San Diego. We're international. We have Finland also. Cindy, buenos dias from San Francisco Bay Area. I'm PST. And these lives are really for me. Right on, Cindy. Welcome. We've got stuff for you today. Christopher Wilson. The doctors in Mexico fixed a 20-year-old problem in my meds in US couldn't fix. Dentists are great, no appointments needed. I've had a bunch of work done on my mouth. I mean, I probably have about 8 crowns in my mouth, and each crown costs me like 4,000 pesos. Like that's like $200. See my teeth? It's like $200 for a crown. I think Teresa's implant was like 9,000 pesos. That's like $400. And if you watch the video, I do price comparisons on Mexico prices versus United States prices. And I go to like 4 cities of prices for dental care in the United States. Watch the video. Okay, now let's see. Okay, do you know anything about knee replacements there? I know medical care is really inexpensive down here. And in fact, the term for people come here from the United States all the time, and I think the term is medical tourism. And from Pennsylvania, a lot of Amish people come down here all the time for medical care and surgeries. As far as knee replacements, I know 2 people, both Americans, that are very wealthy, extremely wealthy. One had a hip replacement, and I know 2 people that have had knee replacements, and everything went very well. I feel bad for the doctors down here because they don't make money like the doctors in the United States. For example, if you get a cold, you have a cough, you have a rash or something like that, they have pharmacies throughout Mexico. The biggest pharmacy in Mexico is Farmacia Guadalajara. It's owned by the Catholic Church. That they're all over Mexico. There are several others, but many of these pharmacies have little doctor's offices. Yeah, and they're very small. Like the room I'm in is not big at all, but their offices are about the size of this room, and they have a little bed in there, and they have their stethoscopes and all that kind of stuff. So if you're feeling ill, maybe you think you have COVID or something like that, you go to these little doctor's offices next to the pharmacy. Okay, so you go in there and they test your blood pressure, take your heart rate, put fingers here and there and ask you questions. And if you need drugs, they can prescribe you drugs. You go to the pharmacy, you buy drugs, and that's going to cost you 50 pesos. 50 pesos. That's $2.50. You might be in there with them for like a half an hour, 45 minutes for $2.50. Okay. One day I looked at my foot, and on the bottom, it was like callous, and it had a kind of a hole in it, and I was freaking out. I was like, what is this? So we went to Teresa's family. They have like 9,000 people in their family. They all go to this one doctor. So I went to him, can you help? He says, oh, we have a foot doctor that comes in like twice a week. So I go to see the foot doctor. And the foot doctor looks at it. He says, oh, that's no problem. We can take care of that. It was like my calluses had just grown a little bit too much. So I was with this guy for an hour. And the guy it was like a buffering. It was almost like a sanding machine. And he was like, he was cutting off skin, and nothing hurt. It was all good. My foot's good. I was with this guy for an hour. And at the end of an hour, I said, okay, so how much does that cost? And he said, that'll be 200 pesos. That's $10 for an hour. Okay. I mean, medical care, and medical care is super inexpensive down here, and the quality of medical care, as long as you go to private hospitals, is really good. I just found out this week how much it costs if you have a heart attack and you go to a private hospital. That's going to cost you 150,000 pesos, which is around $8,000. If you get COVID and you have to go into the hospital, that's going to cost you about 100,000 pesos, which is like $4,900. But and drugs, the price of drugs is really cheap down here. Like you can buy like generic Tylenol. You get like 50 giant generic Tylenol for like $1. Okay. I think in the United States you have to have a prescription for Viagra or Cialis. Down here you just go into a pharmacy of Guadalajara. They have the generic brand, and it's like, you get 4 tablets for like $4. And of course, I wouldn't know about that. This is just what I hear, because I don't need that because I'm so studly already. But anyway, the drugs are really cheap. Medical treatment is really good and really cheap. So yeah. Okay, so let's move along here. Okay. Yeah, it's called medical tourism. People come down here, take a vacation, go to the doctors, get fixed up, stay at a resort, and save lots of money. If you got the cash, come on down. Okay. And while you are talking about knee replacements in Mexico, please talk about hip replacements. I think that the guy, there's a very wealthy man. He was my landlord in Puerto Vallarta, and his name is Don Pickens, and he owns one of the top-ranked gay resort hotels in the world. It's called Casa Cupola, and he has enough money just to fly back to San Francisco and get medical work done. But he got his hip replacement in Mexico. Rich man, and he's fine. He's just walking around like normal. They can do it all in Mexico, except they don't use morphine down here. The doctors are not trained to use morphine. That is what Teresa's son-in-law says. He's a doctor. They just don't use morphine. For what that's worth. Okay, Jerry from Alberta, Canada. We have more internationals in the house. We got Finland, we got Canada. Welcome, Jerry. David Dupree. I wonder, Bill, how much room is there for expats in your area? Okay, let me. David Dupree. I wonder how much room there is for expats in your area. There's plenty of room. Plenty of room. There's plenty of room in Ajijic. There's a lot of room, but you're going to pay for that room. In Chapala, there's a lot of room. You're going to pay less. I did a couple of videos about, there's a little town. It's about 3 miles from here. It's called San Nicolas. They have a bunch of room there, and that's 10 minutes from Chapala, 15 minutes from Ajijic, really cheap. We did a trip this week to Mescala. I don't think I could live in Mescala because our tour guide said they had slow internet service, and I can't be anywhere that has slow internet service. But David, there's plenty of room in Chapala and Ajijic. And if you come down here to Chapala and Ajijic, you're only a 1 hour bus ride or drive from Guadalajara. They have plenty of room in Guadalajara. And for people considering moving to Chapala, Ajijic, if you're going to come down and visit, you may as well visit Guadalajara, get an Airbnb there. I would prefer living in Guadalajara. I was there for 3 years. I love Guadalajara, and it has the same climate as Chapala, Ajijic. But Teresa wanted to move here, okay, and she's the boss. Okay, I go where she goes. But people check out Guadalajara. It's going to be, you can find deals on places to live, and all over Mexico, people need money. Living in Mexico is somewhat illusionary, because in Puerto Vallarta, they have all these high rises and they look so beautiful. They're like 50 of them. These are like 50-story high rises. They're all brand new. They look spectacular. But Don Pickens, the owner of Casa Cupola, he would give me the rundown on occupancy rates. And many of these places were only at 20% capacity because they couldn't rent them out. There are many fabulous places for rent throughout Mexico. Puerto Vallarta, Guadalajara, Ajijic, Chapala, and there are many fabulous places that people just don't know about, but the people that own these places want the money, need the money, but you have to know who to talk to. So is there room for you? Here in Chapala, Ajijic, there's plenty of room, plenty of nice places to live. Okay, now, okay. Sherry Smith, good morning, Bill. Love your channel. From Sherry and Jesse in Arkansas. We got people from Arkansas here. Woohoo! Arkansas? I don't remember anybody coming here from Arkansas. We are so happy to have your presence. And, oh, wow, that's so great. People from Arkansas. Christine Prowse. Hi, Christine. How you doing? Good morning. Studier? What's it? Oh, Studlier Bill? You've already caused me to laugh. Okay, Christine. Happy that you're here. Always happy to get your messages. Greg, I'm in the Puerto Vallarta area. Can you get a one-bed condo around $400? I really only want to spend $1,000 a month. $400 rent, utilities, blah, blah, blah. Greg, very good question, Greg. Okay, in Puerto Vallarta, I lived in Puerto Vallarta for 10 years. I moved there after living in San Francisco for 5 years. I went back to Columbus, Ohio. I stayed there for about 5 months and got bored. And then I moved to Puerto Vallarta. So I didn't know anybody in Vallarta. And I found some place on the internet. It was $700 a month. And I had signed a 1-year contract. I didn't know anybody. I had called people. I got on the internet and I called expats living in Puerto Vallarta. I didn't know anybody. So I went ahead and hooked up with a $700 apartment. I didn't know anybody. But after that, once I lived there for a year, then I started to know people. And I moved out of that place, and my next place was 650 pesos a month. And that was a 1-bedroom with a kitchen and a living area. 650 pesos a month is like $325 a month. Then I moved from there into the city. This was in the city, but this was in Cinco de Diciembre. I had a fabulous place. It was like a Marriott, brand new refrigerator, dishwasher, which is rare, marble, everything fully furnished, cups, forks, pillows. It came with cable. I had to pay for my own internet, but this place was 8,000 pesos a month, which is $400, and that included electricity, which means my air conditioning was free. So can you find a place in Puerto Vallarta for $400 a month? I left Puerto Vallarta 6 years ago, and that's when I was paying 8,000 pesos a month. But I think you can find a place in Puerto Vallarta for 8,000 pesos, $400 a month. Also take a look at Bucerias. Bucerias is 13 miles away from Puerto Vallarta. It may not be as pricey, but give that a check. Okay, here we go. Okay. Thank you, David. Just got my Visa Permanente. Capitan? Is that Capitan? Just got my Visa Permanente last week. I'm just curious, how long had you been without a Visa Permanente? I've only had my Visa Permanente for about a year now. I tell you what, a relief, because I think for 5 years I just went back and forth to the border every 180 days, which you can do, but sometimes you forget, and it's kind of expensive and it's time consuming. Then I had a 2-year visa, then another 2-year visa. I think I had 3 2-year visa, but I tell you, once you get the permanent visa, you never have to do it again. It's very calming to your soul. Okay, Christine, buenos dias, Christine C. Thank you so much for joining us today. Happy that you are here. Okay. Okay. Capitan is saying, what lawyer do you recommend? Okay. I'm just reading I think it's Capitan. In the description below, towards the bottom of the description, it says something like, my attorney for immigration. His name is Albero, and his email is there. And his assistant's name is Naomi. And they have helped about 40 of my subscribers get various forms of immigration. 1 year temporary, 2-year temporary, 3-year temporary. I did a video with them. If you go to YouTube and type in Guadalajara immigration attorney, or if you go to YouTube and type in Chapala immigration attorney, my video will come up number 1 or number 2. If you watch that video, they'll give you lots of information, and their emails are at the end of that video or in the description. So anyway, look in the description below and you'll see what's going on. Okay. Kat OB, I'm a single woman and retired. What's for me? Just about every video is couples, not looking for dates. Kat, wow, you're in a wonderful situation. You can live. What's there for me? The whole world is here for you. You can come down here, live alone, yet meet friends. You might, if you want to, join some kind of group where something that you like to do, like maybe you like to play dominoes or play cards. Maybe you like to learn art, or maybe you do art. Maybe you like to read. Maybe you like to join a group that reads books, or maybe you just want to stay away from people and just enjoy this super climate. When I met Teresa, I was totally single. I hadn't had a date in 3 years, and I was totally happy. I didn't want to meet anybody, and I just did my computer stuff. I read stuff. I do my computer stuff, and the weather's great. And Cat, everything is cheap. So what's here for you? Everything inside of you is here for you, and you can bring what you have, what that is in you, and save a lot of money. Yeah, bring you down with what you enjoy, and maybe take a trip over here. Maybe you meet a friend, a girlfriend, or maybe some guy that's a friend. You guys can take little one-day bus trips together. Yeah, but come on down, Kat. You'll enjoy yourself. Okay, let's see what I'm missing over here. Okay. Russ, do you expect the snowbirds to return this year? Yeah, they'll come back. I know they'll come back. Pamela Williams. Bill, how would moving to San Nicolas be for someone who does not have a car? How is the transportation for that area? Well, Pamela, I know a woman that lives there. Her name is Beverly. When we were going to Mescala, we drive right through there, and we saw Beverly waiting on the bus. They have a direct bus that goes from San Nicolas to Chapala, Ajijic, or Guadalajara. Now, to be very honest, me and Katie Ibarra, she sold the house. We did a video on that house in San Nicolas. And the woman, it was a beautiful house, $148,000. The woman, Stella, that was selling the house, she loved it, but she had a car. So if you live in San Nicolas, you can take the bus. But I tell you what, I would move down here and buy a car. And you can get like a 20-year-old Volkswagen Beetle. That's all you need. You just need an old car that can make 15-minute trips a couple of times a week. And you can probably buy an old car down here for $1,000, $2,000 in really good shape. So just come down and buy an old car. You can take the bus, but I have a car. I didn't have a car for 10 years. And I've been here 16 years. I didn't have a car for 10 years. I didn't miss it at all. I would walk everywhere. But if you live in San Nicolas, I think you're going to want and need a car. That's what I think. Okay, here we go. Da da da. Oh boy, we got so many messages coming in. Da da da. Gabrielle. Hola, Bill. Saludos from Southern California, Gabrielle. Happy to have you in the house. Cindy Juggle Goddess. Are you still doing your online training work? How is your business going? Well, Cindy, I don't do hardly any more online training. I'm all set up. I'm knowledgeable on my stuff. But I did that for so long. I mean, I was doing 20 hours a week of web design, Photoshop, Illustrator, different forms of web development code, search engine optimization, getting ranked on YouTube. I still do a few hours of that a week, meaning maybe 2 or 3 hours. And the money was good when I was doing it. But it's a lot. Teaching classes well and being knowledgeable is a lot of energy and a lot of research. So then I switched to writing books for Amazon for my income. And I did that for maybe 4 years full time. I have 300 books on Amazon under 3 pen names. And that was, you can make money on Amazon. And I did make money on Amazon. But the content that I was writing, I wasn't real excited about. So anyway, then I just moved to YouTube. So right now, I'm just doing YouTube stuff and not too much online teaching, though I am open to online teaching. And I can teach you, if you have an idea, if you want to be a consultant internationally to places that speak English, I can teach you how to build your website, get you on page 1, Google internationally. So people call you on the phone, you set an appointment, you teach a class, you make like $45, $50 an hour or more. I can teach people how to do that. And I did that for like 10 years. It was great. I was teaching classes in the United States, Great Britain, Australia, Italy. You know, I get on the computer, teach class for 2 hours, maybe 4 hours. There's $180. That's a lot of money in Mexico for sitting at home. Okay, Kat, I'm a single woman and retired. What's for me? Okay, been there. Da-da, da-da. I have seen a video in which a YouTuber spoke about scorpions getting into their home. Are you aware of similar issues with scorpions or other bugs being prevalent in people's homes? That's a very good Question Ron. Now, I don't want to scare anybody, but I killed 2 scorpions this week. One in the kitchen in the middle of the night, and one yesterday evening. It was coming in my door. Real teeny tiny one. Therese, I got up in the middle of the night about 3 weeks ago, and I saw a shoe in the middle of the kitchen, and it had it was a smudge. Then I looked on the other side of the kitchen, and there was a smudge. And I talked to Therese in the morning. She had killed 2 scorpions that night, and they were like 2-inch scorpions. So we got some spray. You can buy spray, and you spray it all around everywhere in the house, and then they don't come around. So we have this spray, and we spray that stuff down. Now we're doing it about once every 3 weeks, and it keeps the scorpions out of your house. So yeah, you will see scorpions unless you spray and take care of them. But we've been here 3 years. Oh, and all of our neighbors, I don't know what the deal with this is. All of our neighbors keep dead scorpions in a jar. We have one neighbor that has 200 scorpions in a jar. They put the alcohol in a big jar, and then they kill a scorpion, and so yeah, there are scorpions down here. You never want to go to bed with sheets or blankets that reach the floor. You always want your sheets and blankets to be a couple of inches above the floor. You don't want your bed touching the walls, and then you'll be okay. All right, now let's get back here. Time is flying. Okay, let's see what's going on. Here we go. Cindy, how do you renew a U.S. passport? How do you renew your U.S. passport while living in Mexico? I have renewed 2 of my U.S. passports while living in Mexico. The first time I was in Puerto Vallarta, and all you have to do is you have to go to the United States consulate. And for Puerto Vallarta, the United States consulate is in Nuevo Vallarta, which is about, it's like a 20-minute drive from Puerto Vallarta. But what they did was the U.S. consulate in Nuevo Vallarta, once a month, they go to this little community center right in downtown Puerto Vallarta. So you can call them and say, okay, when are you coming down? And they tell you what you need. Then you take your paperwork to the little community center. You give them your present passport, your whatever they want, the application. Then they disappear. They come back the next month with your passport. My last port, I just got renewed about 1.5 years ago here in Chapala, actually in Ajijic. There's a place in Ajijic, it's called the Lake Chapala Society. It's a fabulous place. If you go to Ajijic, you have some time, you want to visit the Lake Chapala Society. They have a website, just do a Google search, Lake Chapala Society, go to their website, they have all kinds of stuff. The Lake Chapala Society, the closest embassy, U.S. embassy for the United States, for Chapala and Ajijic, is in Guadalajara. I've been there, I don't want to go back. But anyway, they send their people from the Guadalajara embassy to the Lake Chapala Society once a month, specifically to renew passports. They do some other stuff too that I'm not aware of, but when I went to get my passport renewed, there were like 100 people there, and they run a very smooth system. They've been doing this for years, so you might go there and spend 45 minutes. Don't let the 100 people there, and they give people numbers, the whole deal. So you go one time, give them the appropriate paperwork, you come back a month later, they have your passport. So I'm sure it's like that throughout Mexico. It's very easy to get your passport renewed, and it was very affordable. I forget what it was, like $65. Very good. Okay, now Okay, Russ in West Virginia. Retiring in 3 years, plan to snowbird first. Chapala area tops my list due to your great information, Bill. Thanks. Cool, Russ. Yeah, Chapala is cool. It's real mellow. I'm not real. For me, living is very easy. I'm a naturally happy person. I'm kind of a loner. I'm not a real social. I love people. I can be with people. I can make presentations with people, and I love people. But I'm just happy to be on the computer creating stuff or reading stuff. But Chapala is a very mellow place. Puerto Vallarta is a party town. If you want to party, I'd say you can party more in Puerto Vallarta than you can in Guadalajara. You just go down to the beach in Puerto Vallarta and you just party all day for the rest of your life. But Chapala is very mellow. And mellow, I'm happy with mellow. As long as I have high-speed internet, I'm good to go. But my point is, Russ, come on down, get a place, and travel is so affordable. You're going to be an hour away from Guadalajara. You can take a bus or airplane to Puerto Vallarta. You can visit Malake. So when you come down to Vallarta, you'll have a home station, then visit places. Join Facebook groups. Facebook, Malake, Americans in Malake, Americans in Guadalajara, Americans in this place. And meet some people, reach out and go places, rent an Airbnb. And I tell you, I go to places all the time and I just fall in love with almost every place I visit in Mexico because the people are so nice and the environment and the mountains. So yeah, Chapala may be your starting point. For me, Puerto Vallarta was my starting point. By accident, I met Teresa. Then I lived in Guadalajara. Then Guadalajara, Teresa wanted to move here. Now I'm in Chapala. Everything was an accident. So come on down, get your starting point, and just visit and enjoy and visit and enjoy and see what's good for you. Okay, here we go. Don't know any Spanish. Greg says, don't know any Spanish, and I'm single, 58-year-old male. Is there better areas than others to look at that would make moving easier, knowing zero Spanish? I tell you what, okay, couple of things. When I was in Puerto Vallarta, I knew hundreds of Americans that spoke zero Spanish. That's funny to think of it. My landlords, they didn't speak any Spanish. The main man, they were a gay couple. And I think the young one was 55 and the older one was like 67, Mike and Charlie. Charlie spoke zero Spanish, and Mike, he could say hola and a couple of cuss words, and he learned some, but they didn't know any Spanish. But you can do fine in Mexico not knowing any Spanish. But I'm going to say you want to make some Mexican friends, however you can do it, and one of these Mexican friends needs to be bilingual. And if you can't, and you'll see where I'm going on this, if you can't meet a bilingual Mexican, just find a bilingual Mexican attorney. Certain things you need to know Spanish. Like, let's say you're going to get cable TV and they bring the contract. You need to be able to see what the options are and where to sign and what you're signing. If you sign a contract for telephone service, Telcel, Telmex, you want to look at that and read it over, and a Mexican attorney will do you fine. But generally speaking, go into the little grocery stores, the places on the corner. I'm going to step out and say this. All generalities are false, but I'm going to tell you almost every Mexican can speak some English. And you may have to struggle. I went to a taco stand in downtown Puerto Vallarta for 3 years. I pretty much lived on these tacos for 3 years. And the place was fabulous. And they had like 5 sons and a dad that ran this place, and they had super tacos. And I would go down there every day and order 2 tacos in the afternoon. They called me, my nickname was Dos, which means 2, because 2 tacos. And I went there for 3 years. And then one day, the oldest brother, Eduardo, one day the oldest brother just breaks out and starts speaking fluent English, okay? It's like when you're a United States citizen and you come down here and maybe you kind of act like an asshole or something, and then the Mexican people are kind of like, I'm not speaking English to you because you're an asshole, okay? But once you give them some respect and share some time with them, then you will find many Mexicans that will work with you with your English. So yeah, I know hundreds of people. Or if you move to Ajijic, where there are lots of English-speaking Americans and Canadians, you can live in Ajijic and speak no Spanish at all and just hang out with Americans all the time. So yeah, even in Puerto Vallarta, there are Americans that live in Puerto Vallarta only hang out with Americans and Canadians. They don't speak any Spanish. But if you don't speak any Spanish down here, you miss out on total Mexico culture. I have met so many people down here, and so many doors have opened for me because I speak Spanish. And if you learn Spanish and you meet Mexican people, you doors are going to open for you that other Americans and Canadians will never, ever, ever experience. But come on down and you can learn Spanish. So whatever. Okay, we got about 3 minutes to go, folks. Don't know any Spanish. TCB, you said it. Just bring you. That's a good one. Just bring you. Where did your message go? Where did that message go? Oh, messages are flying around. Help me find that. Oh, help me. Oh, here we go. Here. Yeah. Just bring you. You're the best teacher. Thank you, TCB Chris. You could be a mentor to many people out there. Thank you very much, Chris. Thank you very much. Cindy, have you been to Oh, Cindy, wow. I'm getting goosebumps with this question. Cindy's saying, have you been to San Luis Potosi? San Luis Potosi. Okay, let's say this. When I drive from Ohio or from Washington, D.C., I drive down to San Laredo, something like that. And then I drive to San Luis Potosi and spend the night there. When I was at Dartmouth College, all the students at Dartmouth College had to go somewhere in the world for a quarter and learn a different language. So I decided to go to Mexico and learn Spanish. And so I lived in San Luis Potosi for 9 weeks with a Spanish family. It was a mother and her 2 grandchildren and her mother, who was like 94 years old. And the 94-year-old grandmother, whoever she was, she drank a pint of tequila every night and she would sing. But anyway, San Luis Potosi was fabulous. And that's one reason I decided to move to Mexico. The people were very friendly. Plus, it's a college town. There are many really educated professional people in San Luis Potosi. I loved it, and I met a lot of Mexicans. I don't know if it was the time period. This was back in about 1975. And I would walk down the street And people was, are you Americano? Or you play football? You play basketball? I say, no, I'm a college student. And they would say, well, come over to the house, and I want you to meet my family. And this is like the president of the electric company in San Luis Potosi. Go over to their house, meet all their family, people taking us to parties and stuff. I loved San Luis Potosi, and that's why I'm in Mexico now, because the people treated me so great. And I always remembered that. But San Luis, I don't know what it's like now. I've never lived there since 1975. I've driven through there a couple of times, but it was a fabulous place, and the climate was pretty good, though I was there I think I was there from September to the beginning of December. There you go. I can't believe you asked that question. Okay, let's see what else is going on here. Okay. Pamela Williams. Okay, thanks, Bill. Thank you. Joe Griff. Katie said that the house in the highlighted San Nicolas video was a 20-minute walk to where the local bus passes. Something important to consider. Yes, that's true. Katie, it is 20 minutes, and I remember the bus stop. They have two buses that go by there frequently. One is the direct bus. The other bus is the locals bus. So you know how that goes. It's probably the same with Greyhound. But that house, I call it Stella's house, that Katie, we just sold that this week, pretty much. Stella's house was a bit out in the boonies. Not real in the boonies, but yeah, her house is like a 20-minute walk to the bus stop. But if you live in San Nicolas is only about 10 blocks in each direction. If you can get a house or an apartment right around that area, then that's going to cut a 20-minute walk into like a 7-minute walk. And our friend that lives in San Nicolas, Barbara, she lives about a 1-minute walk from the bus stop. She is from Houston, retired down here, and she pays $300 a month for rent in San Nicolas, living a 1-minute walk from the bus stop to get to Chapala and Ajijic. And sometimes she will rent a car for a period of time if she knows she's going to take trips. Thank you, John Griff. Greg, attention, Kat, we need in the future go out for lunch. Very good. Greg says we need in the future to go out for lunch. You said you're not looking for dates. I'm 100% not looking for dates too. And Greg's laughing out loud. There you go, Kat. Just, have a friend or two. Come on down. Just come down and live nice. Eric Drews, we had a scorpion in my house. He lost the battle with my shoe. Yeah. Yeah, they're real kind of scary looking, but with a good shoe, they go away quite quickly. Christine, how do I say that? Praz? Question, Bill. What would you say to a 41-year-old daughter who accuse you of being selfish if you move out of the country where you're not close if health issues arise? Well, Christine, I'm on the air right now with all of my subscribers, and so I'm not allowed to just be a brother and say what I really want to say, but it's your life. And, who wants to rain on your parade? How selfish is that? I'm just going to say, how selfish is that on her part? I can rain on her parade because she's not a subscriber, okay? But it's your life. Live your life. One of my favorite aunts, when she was 84, she was 6 months away from death. I was in her living room. Aunt Mona Ann Slade. 6 months before she died, she told me, live your life. So Christine, I would say screw your daughter. Let her be miserable all by herself. And there are people that just want to make you be miserable while they're miserable. Oh, if you go away, what are we going to do? I won't be able to live. Well, get a life. Learn how to live your life. I'm going to go live my life. You can do whatever it is that you want to do. I'm going to live my life and I'm going to enjoy. And if you want to throw some guilt my way, then I just won't see you again for the rest of my life. Adios. Okay. Oh, that felt good. Okay, Joan Richards, guess what? I see snakes, lizards, garden rats, all types of bugs, and live in Florida. Yeah, Joan. Yeah, it's like that down here. I'm from Ohio, so maybe we might see we lived in the country, so we might see some mice, maybe some gardener snakes. But in Mexico, like Florida, you're going to see it all. You're going to see insects, and you're going to think that they came out of a science fiction movie. You're going to see animals, and you're going to think they came out of a science fiction movie. You're going to see crocodiles in the middle of the road, boa constrictors in the middle of the road. You're going to see everything that you could never imagine thinking about. It's the jungle. Mexico is the jungle. So come down here and be prepared just to see freaky stuff, but it's all good. It's all good. It's just fine. Thank you, Joan Richards. Christine Praz. She also said, I couldn't live on my meager retirement in the States if I wanted. But I wanted to live in opulence. I was rendered speechless. I need the right words to stop her guilt trip. I'm telling you, man, people that give me guilt trips, they're not in my life anymore. People that give you guilt trips, I don't have those people in my life because I have cut them off. I don't care if they're lifelong friends, families. I don't care who they are. You start raining on my parade, throwing some guilt trip on me, and you're out of my life. I read about positive thinking every morning for an hour. And then I walk for an hour and think these positive thoughts. I'm creative. I think that all people are equal. I think that all genders are equal. I think that all people in the world, regardless of what countries they're from, what nationalities they have, I think that all these people deserve respect and reserve for their history should be studied and shared. I believe that all people are free and they should be free to live the way that they want to live. So when I get some people telling me, well, these people are bad and these people are bad, I can't talk to these people, they're off my script. And people that want to control me and throw guilt trips on me, they're off my trip. I don't care if it's my mother, my father, my sister. I don't care who it is. But you throw that guilt stuff on me, I don't care how you're related to me. I will never see you again forever. Do what you got to do. It's your life. You want to live with guilt. But adios. Okay. Ron, are there lakefront, beachfront condos in the area for rent? Purchase, or are the majority of properties single family homes? Okay, there are lakefront properties for rent and for sale in Chapala. In Chapala, okay. Chapala is east, Ajijic is west. There's a road going between the two, and then between the two there are all these little towns, and between the two it's not that far. It's only like 10 miles, if that. But then they have like 3 little cities: San Antonio, Ribera. There are a ton of lakeside homes. Or homes that are kind of in the mountains that have a view of the lake, but it's all here. They have all of that, and you can find it. David Dupree, If you buy real estate in Mexico, do you have to worry about it being confiscated by the Mexican government? Well, David, okay. Okay. It can happen. I know it has happened on 2 occasions. Things like that can happen in Mexico. But Teresa had her house in Guadalajara for 30 years, no problems. Her mother owns 6 houses for like forever, no problems. We have this house, we have many neighbors, they own their houses, no problems. So, but in Mexico, mysterious things can happen. And for me, Teresa is Mexican culture. Mexican culture, and some Americans need to own a home. Okay, I'm not like that. I can just live in an apartment. But for me, then if I gotta leave, I just pack up my stuff and go. If you own a house, then you gotta sell the house, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, weird things can happen in Mexico. But in 16 years, I've only seen houses being confiscated 2 times in 16 years. Okay, now, Nick. Hi, everyone. I'm the neighbor of the owner of the house that is for sale in San Nicolas. And about the distance, there's 10 minutes. 10 minutes or maybe 15 minutes. Thank you if you walk slow. What if you're drunk and you're crawling, Nick? How does that go? Thank you so much for that clarification, Nick. Hi, everyone. Okay, we got that. Okay, very good. Joan Richards. I just subscribed to Teresa's channel. Oh, I love a cooking. Thank you, Joan. Thank you, Joan Richards. And Teresa appreciates your subscription. Thank you so much. And Teresa's great. She can really cook. She's phenomenal. Nick Narcia. Saludos, Bill. Saludos a ti. Joan Richards. Got that. Pat Vega. Is the lake dead of living fish? Is it truly contaminated from years of commercial chemical dumbing? And is surrounded areas around lake actually poisonous? Okay. Pat Vega, that's a super wonderful question. We just did a video about Mescala this week, and we just put that video up yesterday. But we had a guide, and the guide was saying that 200 years ago, Lake Chapala was totally clean. It was clear. You could look into the water. It was so clear that you could see the fish swimming around. But now Lake Chapala is extremely polluted. They used to have a famous fish in Lake Chapala. They called it whitefish, and it was a delicacy. People would come from miles around to get whitefish in Chapala. Those have all died. Teresa and I never eat the fish out of the lake. Now, if you go into town, you can buy a bunch of fish. The fishermen go into the lake and get thousands of tons of fish out of there every day and sell it to the people locally on the street in markets. We never eat the fish out of Lake Chapala. Teresa's daughter is a doctor of marine biology who's studying the coral reef in Puerto Vallarta right now with her doctor husband. And she says, never, ever eat the fish out of Lake Chapala. She's a marine biologist. Now, there's some American Caucasian in Ajijic. I don't know what his credentials are, but he says, sure, it's fine to eat the fish, eat the fish, eat the fish. I don't trust him. I have no clue what his chemistry degree is in, but we will never eat fish. The fish that we eat is from the ocean. There are several places, but specifically a place in Ajijic, right down the street from Walmart, and they import fresh fish from Vallarta, Malaki, and we get all of our fish and shrimp that we eat in this house, and we eat a lot of fish and shrimp and king crab legs. All of our stuff is imported not from Lake Chapala. I'm just going to say, never eat the fish out of the lake. Okay, here we go. Now, thanks, Nick Jones saying, thank you, you're welcome. Thanks, Bill. We love your channel, David. Thank you. We love you, David. Thank you so much. Nick, I met Bill and his wife when he was recording the video. You're the guy from across the street. Yeah. And your birthday is the same birthday as San Nicolas. Nick, good to have you here. Good to have you here, Nick. Yeah, I remember you totally. Pamela says, thank you, Nick. Cindy, I've heard that San Luis Potosi is very nice and a bit off the beaten path. I want to visit there. I loved San Luis Potosi. I tell you, the people were totally friendly. It's away from the beaten path, but it's not a small town. I think it's bigger than Chapala or Ajijic. I enjoyed it. I totally enjoyed it, and I took trips from there to Mexico City. I think it's a 4-hour drive from San Luis to Guadalajara, but you can get the bus. If you want to go to a big city, you can take the bus to Guadalajara, 4 hours for like $25. Yeah, San Luis Potosi is fabulous. Okay, Gabro, amen, brother, right on. Eric Drews, damn right, it's your life. Live it to the fullest. Enjoy the time you have left. Oh, that's right. Live your life. Okay. Is your U.S. income tax prep complicated? Are you able to do it yourself? My U.S. income tax prep has never been complicated. I do it myself, and it's been very simple, but I don't do any business in Mexico. And now I know business owners. I know American and Canadian business owners. If you're going to own a business, like you're going to own a pizza shop, a bread shop, I don't know, you're going to rent motorcycles or something like that, then you have to deal with the Mexican government and their tax system. But I don't do any business in Mexico, and all my income is from the United States. Pretty much all I have to do is deal with the United States. Okay, Pat Vegas, thanks for being honest. Pat Vega, okay. David Dupree, problems have occurred when expats buy their house from the seller who does not hold clear. Oh yeah, your transaction should be done in concert. Oh yeah, okay. Good point, David. When Teresa bought this house in Chapala, we got the contract from the realtor, and the language in the contract was all screwed up. It was like, well, and it was stuff like, okay, this property, you're going to pay the money, but this property is actually owned by this judge and this judge and this judge. And it didn't have Teresa's name on it anywhere. And so we had to have that rewritten. And then Teresa knew a bulldog Mexican attorney in Guadalajara, and she just handed it over to him, and he dealt with the realtors. And this guy, he's a super lawyer and a jerk. He knows how to be a hard butt. And because we're recording this, I'm not using a lot of words that I would usually use, but he went through that contract for like a month. If you're going to buy property here, you want a Mexican attorney that is a jerk. He is your sweetheart, but when it comes to business, this guy is a jerk for the realtor. And you want to comb that contract and get everything all worked out, because Trace has told me stories about people buying houses and they give the people the money, and it ends up that the people that they gave their money to never owned the house. They were just renting the house. Mexico is like, there are as many criminals in Mexico as there are in the United States and other countries. Criminals can be extremely creative people in all parts of the world. Okay. Latina. Hola, Bill, enjoying Lake Chapala and your channel. Very good. I'm glad you're enjoying Chapala. Ron, thanks, Bill, for answering all of my questions. Have a good weekend. Okay, Pat, thank you, Ron. Be good, be smart, be safe, and God bless you and all yours. Thank you. What is this guy? Okay. All right, folks, we've been at it for an hour and 20 minutes now. Katie Rabara has another house for sale. We just put up the video this week, and the video link for that is below. We just put up another video this week about the insurgents that kept off the Spanish. I think it's a pretty good video. I liked doing it. But anyway, well, we got the whole video right here. I mean, this was fun. The island of Mescala. And so, I mean, this was a fun video. We go through, in this video, it's like a 23-minute video, but we go through downtown Mescala, and then we go like into the church, and then we get a guide and we take a boat ride all the way to the island of Mescala. And it was a great trip. But the link to this video is below in the description. This is called the Island of Mescala, and it was I'm just going to say it was a prison. And so here's the prison right here, and we got a lot of history in there. But anyway, it was a great day trip. The boat ride from Mescala to the island, that we're on the island now. And the boat ride was 400 pesos, that's $20. It's as many people as you can get in the boat. So if you have 8 people in the boat, that's $20, 8 people in the boat. And you go over there, you take a tour for an hour. But it was great. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Cindy. Mole, I want to move to Mexico and live in different cities. How safe is driving around? Okay, let's go back to me over here. We're still getting questions. I'll answer them. Okay, have a good weekend, Ron. Pat, thank you, Pat. Okay, Jack Webb, I'm back. Been gone taking care of COVID patient all morning. Welcome back, Jack. Boy, I want to move to Mexico. How safe is driving around? My motto in Mexico is I never drive at night. When we drove from Chapala to Mescala at 10:30 in the morning, and it's only like a 25-minute drive, but halfway there were like 20 cows in the middle of the road. I mean, so you have to wait for the cows to get down the road. That further down the road, they had horses in the road. Imagine if that were at nighttime. As long as you drive in the daytime, and all of your paperwork is together, you're okay. Sometimes in Puerto Vallarta, I was frequently pulled over by the police that were just trying to shake me down for money. So you give them you give them like $10 and they go away. But other than that, I've never had a problem on driving like 4 hours, 5 hours. The freeways, the toll roads are fabulous. You're not going to have any problems on the toll road. There's a great toll road that goes from Guadalajara to Puerto Vallarta, or Guadalajara or Chapala Ajijic to Malaki. That's toll road. You get on there, you pay the fees, you're good to go. I know many single American women that have driven down here from the United States, no problem. So generally speaking, no problem. Jack Webb, I'm back. Been gone. Okay, very good. Cindy, super helpful as always. Thank you, Bill, so much. Muchas gracias. Thank you, Cindy. Thank you for your questions and your input. Borimex, 58. Can't wait to live in Chapala. Come on down, Mikey. Is the internet good in San Nicolas? Is the internet good in San Nicolas? Well, the lady's house that we visited, her name was Stella. If you watch that video, she had some funky internet service, and she said it worked fine for her. But the main phone companies, Telmex and Telcel, it sounded as though you couldn't get service from them at this period of time, but I'm sure that's constantly changing. If you look at that video where we did Stella's house, it just came out like three weeks ago. I have an image of the internet service that she uses, and she said it was fine. She watches videos on it, so I think it's okay. But I tell you what, over the next year or two, I think that their service is going to grow because Chapala is growing and Ajijic is growing, and I think that San Nicolas is going to grow, and Telmex and Telcel will want to provide better services out there. Okay, Santiago. Hey, Bill. What are your favorite restaurants in Ajijic? I tell you, Santiago, we don't go to Ajijic hardly at all for food, because Trace is a chef. Why go to a restaurant when you live with a chef and you're going to go to a restaurant and always be disappointed? Okay, but we do have our favorite places here in Chapala, and I'm going to do a video within the next 3 weeks on my favorite restaurants in the Chapala area. We have about 5 of them, and I'm looking for the business cards of one. But anyway, give me 3 weeks. I'm going to put together a video of our favorite restaurants in Chapala. Okay, thank you very much for your insight. Thank you, Mole. Mikey, thank you so much. And with that, people are starting to jump the party. I want to thank you all so much for being here. We'll have more great stuff. I didn't get to all the stuff that I had on my list for today, but we'll be back next week. Live from Chapala. This is Bill Dallas Lewis, Bill the Geek. Thank you all for coming. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll have more stuff for you next Saturday at 10 a.m. Central Time. Oh.